Hello once again. Thank you for visiting my video YouTube presentation. Today I want to just shine a light on how I know and understand numerology to be for anyone who might be pondering about it or considering it for oneself. Have you ever wondered why numerology was created in the first place? Essentially, it's your gift of knowledge. It's your personal gift of your soul's life blueprint. It's your knowledge to help one remember, once again, who you truly are and the life that your soul had intended to achieve. It reveals, for one, your soul's divine life blueprint, life guidance. There's a duality here for the knowledge, for the interpretation and the personal understanding that's unfolding within the layers of the worldly life. There's your environment, but there's also you individually. To see the environment through the looking lens of your soul's higher self, and to see one's own beautiful soul's inner being through this knowledge, when you hold up the blueprint of your individuality through the birth name, can you then gain a greater life clarity and defining sense of purpose with this knowledge in front of you and the understanding of who you really are and why it is that your soul chose to come here, this lifetime higher purpose. Numerology predicts patterns of events, patterns of experience. Numerology can predict events of circumstances both globally and individually. However, the more personalised guidance of the life's guidance here stems from your birth date chart. And it is that knowledge that reveals for one, from the moment of birth, for every single birthday personal year ahead, of the unfolding of 12 monthly pathway cycles here, of transits, knowledge pointing the way forward with respect to the environment that you chose to be born into and you're travelling within today. And so it is with this duality of the knowledge of the interpretation and analysis, can you not only gain clarity on what's going on around you, even what you're closely personally associated with in the day-to-day life, but you can also see and understand those choices there as to the defining pathway of your soul's pathway that's already unfolding right in front of you and by which you're travelling within vibrationally, but yet without this knowledge and your conscious awareness, you may be struggling, you see. You may be resisting against your flow of your life. You may be going against the tide, going against the current to make it much more difficult for oneself. So with this knowledge in front of you, can you see a broader view? Can you see between the layers of your life, understanding past, present, and the pathway ahead? The global events that we witness and see in the world that's taking place from around us, with all of its challenges for so many, our leaders, our government, our people that are overseeing the handling and the management of it all for our behalf and well-being. Through this crisis, they are trying to do the best that they can, of course, and it's quite a new experience. Whilst numerology could not predict a pandemic, what it could predict was the disruption to the flow of the economic structure and foundations. That's the 2020 knowledge with the doubling of the 2 there. But when you look to the environment, when you look to the planetary vibrations of 2020, the global events that are happening all around us, and you look to the numerological knowledge that signposts that help us to see and understand a very important emotional, spiritual growth and development that's taking place, with its defining purpose, it's encoded within the fabric of the life itself by which the environment is reflecting upon us all. And it's that knowledge that helps us to see through those layers of environment and circumstances from a spiritual perspective and an emotional understanding and depth here of what we're all learning collectively as a humanity, as a society, individually. The sadness and the grief of this sudden shock, this sudden disruption to the flow of the normal way of living and being. If we look within those layers, so the reflection of what the environment is reflecting upon us all, It is in our learning to unite together and to share together our resources, supportive services, but in ways that are really needed and a priority of importance. And so that's the humanities growth and development. But there's also something else here as a hidden blessing in disguise. There's also the opportunity for those that are in their positions where they can offer their assistance and support in uniting together for bringing forth the breakthroughs and the advancements to support humanity's evolutionary progression and developments, you see. So there's also that that's going on behind the scenes or within the layers. What we're all learning individually and as a humanity is what we can take from the life lesson here of our learning of love, really. And so you have to understand the two leading the way here of the 2020 for that insight and knowledge, you see, with the four as the solutions and the outcome, which is that we need to we do really need to unite together in a way that's cooperative and supportive rather than to risk or fight against the flow of the changing circumstances and the tide of events that we're all going through. So for your birthday chart knowledge, that's very personal, that's very individualized. So if you're wanting understanding about how I support clients, and I've been doing this work for 23 years now, it's wonderful knowledge that's intended there for helping one to empower oneself and to empower the life, you see. Not to struggle, not to go without, not to carry the weight of the heaviness of past sadness and the burdens of the grief and the loss and the sadness that can so overwhelm one of painful past, but rather this knowledge seeks only to support in the choices and the free will, to navigate oneself with the constantly changing, constantly evolving world of our environment on a daily basis, and for the years ahead, you see. So numerology can actually help one to foresee ahead, in advance, with the life's guidance from your soul's divine life blueprint or life map. It's a guideline of support. It's a navigational science, it's a navigational tool, and it was intended always only to help provide support to one in navigating the worldly environmental influences that are always changing from around one, and as to what you are closely, personally associated with at any given point in time, at the age that you're at, and for seeing ahead to prepare one, to guide one, to support one, to empower one. So with that said, I'm rather pleased to offer, for anyone who's interested, any personal reading online, via Skype communications or phone. But also, I'm excited to be offering these wonderful, all my vast knowledge and experience that I've attained over these years, that I've accumulated and put together for learning numerology in an online course. And so please visit my website for this information and details, because I've got an amazing offer there, half price offer, where you'll receive this profound wisdom that's all encompassing in here to take you through step by step, but also the oracle cards that I've designed, which help you to interpret the days ahead, the months ahead, and the years ahead. And you can see that both environmentally and personally working with your birthday chart. So it's a rather exceptional offer and valuable knowledge here. For all of this information and more details about myself as a numerologist and spiritual counselor, spiritual reader, in this specialized field in divinational science, please visit the website www.soulnumerologykarenriley.com. I thank you for taking the time and listening to my video today, and I wish you all the very best given everything that's going on in these current changes that we're all dealing with, and especially in holding on to the faith, the belief that this too shall pass, that this too is temporarily. So hold on to that faith and just try to go with the flow as best as one can, which is what we're all being called upon to do. So thank you for listening. I wish you all the very best. Blessings in your life. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.